So folks, I bought my first NFTs earlier this week after several days worth of research. And I wanted to make this video to share with you why I think this is going to be the era-defining investment over the next decade. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Ibrahim Khan. I'm the co-founder of IFG. We're an Islamic finance investment platform that helps Muslims and non-Muslims make ethical and high-quality investments. Let's dive in. What on earth is an NFT, you might ask me? Well, an NFT is a non-fungible token. Still gobbledygook, Ibrahim, I don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, so you've got coins, right? These are all interchangeable and exactly the same value. Here's a 50p coin that I have. Another 50p coin is exactly the same as that. However, when you have a digital asset, a piece of artwork, a piece of digital artwork, that is not interchangeable with other types of digital artwork. There's only one Mona Lisa in the Louvre, right? And there isn't any other, and any other would be a forgery and a copy of the Mona Lisa. So the real Mona Lisa has a tremendous amount of value. And a non-fungible token is brilliant because it sits on this public ledger where it is completely public, and it's really easy to find out if someone is giving you a forgery or if someone is actually giving you the real thing, because you can just match it up with the address that the real thing sits with. Right, Ibrahim, I get that this is an NFT, but why on earth have you gone and invested your money into this, and why do you think it's going to be massive? Right. So an NFT really simply at the moment is pieces of digital artwork. That's the primary use case. But it's going to be a lot more than that, because you see, a piece of digital artwork is limited in its scope to people who like collecting things and are interested in technology. But an NFT is this token that is safe, publicly accessible, can't be forged, is easy to buy and sell as well afterwards. And all of these make it a fantastic quality that will replace the real world tickets, events access things that we see, and all sorts of other means that we use in the real world right now to get access to stuff. Because the other beauty of an NFT is that you can build in a smart contract or smart contracts within that NFT. And so what that means is that if, for example, an artist produced something, or a football club decided that they were going to sell an NFT to give you access to that football club, when you then sell that NFT on, it can be built into that NFT that you're going to give perpetually that football club 10% of every single sale that is going to be made. So there are very, very compelling, interesting, innovative things that can happen with that smart contract technology. So what all of that actually means is that this technology that these NFTs are based on is going to open up a huge vista of opportunity that is going to make the digital landscape and the physical landscape almost indistinguishable in many instances. And that leads me on to the second big point why I think NFTs are the bet of the next decade. And that is this rise of the metaverse, Web 3.0, and digital realities, virtual realities, and you've got these headsets that people are going to be putting on, and Meta, the company, is literally banking on it to be the future. Now, with all of that going on, where people are going to be spending several hours in these virtual environments, and they're possibly going to be spending the majority of their waking hours in this space, wouldn't it make sense for people to then invest in that space as well? Where they buy clothes, they'll buy artwork, furniture, houses, infrastructure, virtual land, and all the other paraphernalia that would come in this metaverse or this virtual landscape. And NFT is basically all of those things. Everything that is a digital asset is an NFT, and you can buy and sell that. And so can you imagine getting in ahead of the curve now, when everything like that will blow up in 10 years time, and you've bought up a whole bunch of land that has now become really, really valuable? That is why I think that this is an era-defining investment that we have access to right now, and it's so early. The other thing that gets me really excited about NFTs is that they allow you to chop up and fractionalize illiquid big assets that previously people did not really have access to. And you might say to me, actually, hang on, Ibrahim, that just sounds like stocks and shares. And we have access to stocks and shares right now. What is the unique, compelling thing here? Well, the unique, compelling thing here is that with stocks and shares and the way that we do it right now, you've got so many different layers. You've got lawyers, the company, different brokers, different exchanges. All of them are taking their cut. All of them are taking their fee. And all of this takes time. However, with NFTs, if, let's say, for example, you have the Shard or the Gherkin or any kind of large building, and you decide to fractionalize it all up and put it on the blockchain, and then you can own a tiny piece of that. Now, once you own the tiny piece of that, because this is now dealing with software ultimately, if you want to buy and sell that, you don't necessarily have to go through this rigmarole of going to the company, going to the estate agent, going to the surveyor, going to all of these different places, finding out if anyone actually owns this stuff. It's all public, it's all accessible, it's all right there. And at the click of a button, you can easily and transparently transfer that from yourself to someone else and vice versa. And importantly, because you've cut out all of this time and these intermediaries and brokers, you're going to be charged a lot less for making this transaction as well. And so what that means is that NFTs could potentially be making available and accessible a whole series of investments and asset classes that heretofore we did not have access to. So again, I repeat that I think that NFTs will be enabling a whole series of very dramatic changes in the investment landscape and in the creative landscape over the next couple of decades. The other reason why I think NFTs are such an important area for savvy investors to be focused in on right now is because it's just so early. We did a quick poll in our communities about who actually owns NFTs right now, and over 90% of people did not own NFTs at this moment in time. What does that mean? That means that we are right now in the 1990s for the internet, or the early 2010s for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. People who got in at that time when it all seemed a little bit mad have made an absolute killing right now. And NFTs is in that phase as we speak. Because you see, these opportunities don't come along very often. And when they do, it is really important to act quickly, strategically, but also safely. So what I'm saying here, by the way, guys, is not put 100% of your investments into NFTs. That doesn't benefit anyone because a whole bunch of this stuff is going to go to zero. But if you are strategic, clever, either you invest a lot of time and research this yourself, or you stick with people who do know what they're doing and follow their lead, and you put a small amount of your investment pot into NFTs, that is the way to go about it. Because that way you give yourself exposure to this hugely potentially profitable investment. But if things don't go to plan, you still don't end up losing your house as a result of that. Having just explained to you how I've started dabbling with NFTs, I actually think the best way to invest in these kind of asset classes is to invest using some kind of fund or pooled vehicle where you're getting exposure to a whole range of different assets within this space. And I think the kind of assets that are really interesting when it comes to the NFT space is land in these metaverses that are particularly popular. And then the OGs, the big projects that have become the almost, the leader projects in NFTs, such as CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club and others like that. And then finally, you want to take some interesting smaller positions in things that could potentially catch the imagination, have some technical element to it which makes it really interesting, and take positions in that because they could really pop as well. In other words, I think it requires some kind of NFT fund. So if you guys are interested in something like that, please do let us know in the comments below, because if enough of you are interested, this is definitely something we'll look into providing for all of you. So there you have it, folks. This is why I think NFTs are the era-defining investment of our next decade. Let me know what you think of all of this video and what you think of my NFTs as well in the comments below. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.